Blizzards, frozen neighborhoods, power lines collapsing, a thermostat dropping fast. Every winter, millions of Americans discover a terrifying truth. Modern homes can become ice cold and unlivable in less than 24 hours. But just a few miles away, Amish families live through minus 40-degree Fahrenheit Arctic-level cold, without electricity, without modern insulation, and without central heating. And their homes stay warm, not for a few hours, for the entire winter. How is that even possible? Why can an Amish home survive deadly temperatures while a modern home dies in a single day? Is it the way they build their houses? The materials they use? Ancient techniques we abandoned a long time ago? Or is it something even deeper, a winter survival system designed over 200 years ago? Today, you'll learn the 5 hidden reasons why Amish homes can handle brutal minus 40-degree Fahrenheit winters and stay warmer than the average modern house with a full furnace running. Let's start with the first and shocking difference. Modern homes were never designed to keep you warm without the grid. But Amish homes, they were built for survival. Modern homes may look comfortable, high-tech, and efficient, but the moment the power goes out, they reveal a dangerous weakness. Most modern houses are built with ultra-thin drywall and lightweight fiberglass insulation that loses heat rapidly. These materials work fine as long as the furnace is running, but when the electricity stops, they offer almost no real thermal protection. Heat escapes through the walls, floors, windows, and attic far faster than most people realize. On top of that, modern homes rely completely on electric or gas-powered systems to stay warm. The heating itself is artificial, not built into the structure of the home. As soon as the blower fan stops or the gas line freezes, the indoor temperature starts to fall, sometimes dropping by multiple degrees every hour. Add in common issues like air leaks around windows, poorly insulated attics, and drafty open floor plans, and your home becomes a refrigerator long before help arrives. There's another hidden problem. Modern houses are built with aesthetics in mind, not survival. Large open rooms, tall ceilings, thin walls, and massive windows might look beautiful, but they bleed heat at an alarming rate. In freezing weather, the average modern home drops below 40 degrees Fahrenheit within just 12 to 24 hours during a power outage. That's cold enough to freeze water pipes and potentially endanger anyone inside. But the Amish? They face the same storms, the same temperatures, the same brutal winters, and they don't just survive, they stay warm. Secret 1. Thick, dense walls. One of the biggest reasons Amish homes stay warm in brutal minus 40-degree Fahrenheit winters is something most people never notice at first glance: their incredibly thick, dense, hand-built walls. Unlike modern homes, which often rely on thin drywall and lightweight fiberglass insulation, Amish homes use solid, high-mass materials that naturally trap and retain heat. In a modern house, walls are typically only 4 to 6 inches thick and filled with a fluffy material designed to slow heat loss but not store warmth. As soon as the furnace shuts off, these walls cool instantly and the cold seeps straight indoors. Amish walls work differently. Many are built with heavy timber framing, double-thick planks, or layered wooden boards that create a dense thermal barrier. It's common for Amish home walls to reach 12, 18, or even 24 inches, depending on local tradition and available materials. This thickness gives the home what builders call thermal mass, the ability to absorb heat during the day and release it slowly over time. In other words, the walls act like giant heat batteries. Once warmed by a wood stove, they hold on to that heat for hours, even if the fire dies down. The density also blocks wind far better than modern materials. A strong winter wind that slices right through fiberglass insulation simply can't penetrate thick wood. No drafts, no cold spots, no sudden temperature drops. The home becomes a sealed, insulated shell designed to resist freezing conditions long after external temperatures plunge. This construction method wasn't created for comfort or luxury. It was designed for survival. Long before electricity, the Amish knew that a home must be built to retain heat, not rely on constant heating. And this old-world wisdom still outperforms modern building standards today. Secret 2. The wood stove. If the thick, dense walls of an Amish home are the body's insulation, then the wood stove is its beating heart. This single piece of old-world technology is the reason an Amish house can stay warm for days, even in minus 40-degree Fahrenheit weather, without electricity or modern fuel systems. While most modern homes depend almost entirely on electric blowers, gas furnaces, or heat pumps, the Amish rely on something far more dependable: direct, radiant heat from a heavy cast-iron stove. A wood stove doesn't just warm the air, it heats the objects around it. The floors, the furniture, the walls, and even the air mass inside the room absorb that heat and hold it for hours. Modern forced air heating loses heat almost instantly once the power fails, but a wood stove continues radiating warmth long after the fire has burned down. Many Amish stoves are designed to burn large logs slowly, providing 12 to 24 hours of steady heat on a single load of firewood. And because these stoves are made of thick cast iron or steel, they act like thermal storage units. Once heated, the metal stays hot for hours, continuing to warm the home even after the flames fade. This slow, even heating is ideal for harsh winters, where maintaining consistent warmth can be the difference between comfort and survival. Another major advantage is independence. Wood is a resource the Amish prepare months in advance. They cut it, dry it, stack it, and store enough for the entire winter season. There are no monthly heating bills, no dependence on gas lines, and no vulnerability to power outages. As long as there is firewood, there is heat. In the modern world, losing electricity can cause your home to freeze in a single day. In an Amish home, the wood stove ensures that the cold never wins. Secret 3. Natural insulation. Another powerful reason Amish homes stay warm in brutal winter temperatures is their use of natural, time-tested insulation materials, solutions that require no electricity, no chemicals, and no fancy technology. While modern houses depend heavily on fiberglass baths or blown-in insulation, these materials lose effectiveness over time, absorb moisture, and allow heat to escape quickly during extreme cold. The Amish, however, rely on materials that have been used for centuries because they work exceptionally well in harsh climates. One of the most surprisingly effective insulators is wool. Whether in the form of heavy quilts, thick blankets, layered clothing, or even wool-stuffed bedding, wool traps warm air better than most modern synthetics. It remains insulating even when damp, a crucial advantage during freezing, snowy weather. Many Amish families layer wool blankets on walls or hang thick handmade quilts over windows at night, creating a natural thermal barrier that stops heat from escaping. In addition to wool, the Amish often use straw bales, hay, wood shavings, and sawdust in attics, crawl spaces, and storage rooms. These organic materials create pockets of trapped air, slowing down heat transfer dramatically. Straw bale insulation in particular has an insulation rating that rivals or even exceeds modern fiberglass, and when packed tightly, it becomes an excellent wind barrier. Heavy curtains, braided rugs, and layered carpets also play a major role. Thick fabric and tightly woven materials prevent drafts along floors and around windows, two of the biggest sources of heat loss in any home. Amish homes frequently use multiple layers of fabric and textiles, creating a warm, sealed environment without relying on mechanical heating. What makes these natural materials so effective is their simplicity. They don't fail during a power outage. They don't depend on technology. They just work. And in the unforgiving cold of minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit winters, simplicity often wins. Secret 4. Designed for winter survival. One of the greatest advantages Amish homes have over modern construction is that they are intentionally designed for winter survival from the ground up. Nothing in the layout, shape, or structure of an Amish home is random or decorative. Every design choice serves a purpose, especially the purpose of retaining heat during brutal winters that can plunge to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. In contrast, modern homes are designed around aesthetics, open space, and visual appeal, which often work against efficient heating. Amish homes typically feature smaller, more compact rooms rather than large, open floor plans. This means heat stays contained and concentrated, instead of spreading thinly across massive living spaces like in modern houses. Smaller rooms warm faster, lose heat slower, and create microzones of comfort even when outside temperatures are deadly cold. Another intentional design choice is lower ceilings. While modern homes love grand, tall, spacious ceilings that let heat rise, Amish homes do the opposite. Lower ceilings keep the warmest air within the living zone, right where people actually need it. Every inch of unnecessary vertical space is eliminated, dramatically reducing heat loss. Window placement is also strategic. Many Amish homes have south-facing windows, which allow the weak winter sun to naturally heat the home during daylight hours. These windows act like passive solar heaters, drawing in warmth without burning a single log. At night, heavy curtains and quilts are layered to trap the solar heat inside. Most Amish homes are built around a centralized heat source, usually the wood stove. Walls and rooms radiate outward from this central point, ensuring that warmth is distributed evenly throughout the house. Narrow hallways and connected rooms keep heat cycling instead of escaping. Even the materials used, thick wood floors, dense paneling, layered rugs, were chosen to create a warm interior shell that resists the cold. There are no wide gaps, no thin drywall, no hollow decorative spaces. The entire home works as a unified thermal system. In short, Amish homes aren't designed for style, they're designed for survival. Every feature, every layout decision, every construction detail is optimized for one purpose: holding on to heat as long as possible. Secret 5. Community winter systems. One of the most overlooked reasons Amish families survive the harshest winters is not just their homes, it's their community-based approach to winter survival. Survival in extreme cold is rarely just about a single house or a single stove. It's about a system of preparation, cooperation, and shared knowledge that extends across the entire community. While modern families often face storms and outages in isolation, the Amish approach winter as a collective challenge. Preparation begins months in advance. Wood is cut, split, dried, and stacked in carefully organized piles to ensure that every household has enough fuel to last the entire season. Families help one another transport logs and maintain wood storage, ensuring no one is left without a reliable heat source. This same principle applies to food. Harvested crops are shared, preserved, and stored strategically, allowing everyone access to essential calories even when winter roads are impassable. Daily routines during the cold months are also designed to maximize warmth and efficiency. Unused rooms are closed off to conserve heat, while families cluster together under quilts and blankets, often sharing sleeping spaces to create microclimates that retain body heat. Even livestock are integrated into the system, kept in adjacent barns or partitions that allow heat to radiate into living areas without compromising sanitation. The Amish also maintain an incredible knowledge base that is passed down through generations. They know which types of wood burn longest and hottest, which fabrics trap the most warmth, and which storage techniques protect food for months. This collective wisdom turns each home into part of a resilient network where one household's failure rarely leads to disaster. Modern households, in contrast, often isolate themselves from neighbors, rely entirely on fragile systems, and lack the skills or routines to survive extended outages. In the Amish model, community is survival. Homes, stoves, food, clothing, and labor all work together as one interdependent system. In a world where power grids fail and winter storms strike without warning, this social and practical cohesion is just as vital as walls or insulation. The lesson is clear. Surviving extreme cold isn't just about the right materials or technology. It's about preparation, shared knowledge, and collective resilience. Secret 6. Caloric loading and fat-based diet. Another critical factor that allowed Amish families to survive brutal winters is what they ate and how much energy it provided. While modern nutrition often emphasizes low-fat, low-calorie diets, the Amish relied on a different principle, caloric loading, to fuel the body in extreme cold. Surviving in minus 40 degrees F temperatures isn't just about staying dry and insulated. It's about keeping the body's internal furnace running, and that requires energy-dense food, especially fats. In winter, Amish meals shift dramatically from the lighter fare of warmer months to heavy, high-fat, high-calorie diets. Butter, lard, tallow, and rendered animal fat were staples, added to nearly every dish. A tablespoon of lard contains roughly 115 calories, the equivalent of 2 large potatoes, but with one critical advantage. Metabolizing fat produces more internal heat than the same calories from carbohydrates or protein. This thermic effect of food helped generate steady warmth from the inside out, keeping the body insulated even in extreme cold. In addition to internal heat, fat is calorie-dense and compact, which was crucial when performing hours of hard labor in freezing conditions. Amish men and women often burn thousands of calories daily, splitting firewood, tending livestock, or walking miles through snow. Eating vegetables or grains alone couldn't provide enough energy without consuming enormous volumes of food. Fat allowed them to meet these extreme energy needs without overloading their stomachs. Meals were carefully timed and structured. Large fried bread or porridge with butter for breakfast, fatty pork and beans at midday, and root vegetables roasted in animal fat for dinner. These high-calorie meals supported both survival and productivity, maintaining strength and stamina during long, cold days. Even children followed similar dietary principles, ensuring they had enough energy to stay warm and healthy. Modern diets fail in extreme cold because they don't account for energy expenditure versus heat loss. The Amish understood that calories are fuel for life, not just for activity. Fat-based meals were not indulgence, they were a deliberate survival strategy. In a world where modern heating can fail in hours, the body itself becomes the most reliable heat source, powered by smart nutrition and centuries of experience. Secret 7. Layered clothing and personal insulation. One of the most visible yet often overlooked survival strategies of the Amish is their layered clothing system, designed to trap heat, wick moisture, and protect every inch of the body from freezing temperatures. While modern winter gear relies on technology, synthetic fibers, down jackets, and electric heated layers, the Amish perfected a practical multi-layered approach that works even without electricity or synthetic materials. The system begins with the base layer, traditionally made from linen. Surprisingly, linen is ideal for winter survival because it wicks moisture away from the skin. Sweating during manual labor in freezing weather can be deadly if moisture is trapped, as water conducts heat away from the body 25 times faster than air. By keeping skin dry, the base layer prevents hypothermia and maintains internal warmth. Over the base layer, the Amish add multiple wool layers, each designed to trap air between garments. Wool is exceptional because it retains warmth even when damp and continues insulating in snowy or wet conditions. Layers of wool tunics, vests, and stockings create multiple pockets of trapped air, essentially miniature thermal zones surrounding the body and reducing heat loss dramatically. The outermost layer is typically a heavy water-resistant wool cloak, often treated with natural lanolin to repel snow and light rain. This outer shell acts as both windbreaker and raincoat, preventing heat from escaping while blocking the chilling effects of wind. Extremities receive special attention. Woolen mittens keep fingers together to share warmth, thick stockings protect the feet, and fur-lined hoods or hats minimize heat loss from the head, which can account for up to 10% of total body heat loss. Every piece of clothing in this system is engineered through experience. The layers are lightweight enough to allow movement, yet dense enough to trap warmth. By combining moisture wicking, thermal trapping, and water resistance, Amish clothing creates a self-contained heating system. In -40 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures, this layered approach allows people to work outdoors, tend livestock, and even sleep comfortably, without ever relying on electricity, heaters, or modern fabrics. The lesson is clear. Survival isn't about expensive gear. It's about understanding physics, biology, and materials to create a wearable system that works naturally, efficiently, and reliably in the dead of winter. Secret 8. Thermal mass and heat storage. The real reason Amish families never freeze in -40 degrees winters goes beyond wood stoves, wool, or layered clothing. It's in how their homes are fundamentally designed. Unlike modern houses, which rely entirely on constant energy input from electricity or gas to stay warm, Amish homes are self-sustaining thermal systems. Thick walls, high thermal mass, and dense insulation allow heat to be absorbed, stored, and slowly released. Even if the fire goes out overnight, the interior cools gradually, keeping the household comfortable for hours without any additional energy. Modern homes, by contrast, were built around forced air heating. Heat doesn't stay in the walls, floors, or structure. It exists only in the moving air. When the furnace stops, the warmth disappears almost instantly. Rooms drop to near freezing temperatures in a matter of hours, and pipes, walls, and residents all suffer. This reveals a deeper truth about design priorities. Amish homes were engineered for survival, for enduring the harshest conditions with minimal intervention. Modern homes, they were built to pass code inspections, look appealing, and function with constant energy supply. As one expert puts it, Amish homes were built to survive winter. Modern homes were built to pass code inspections. That simple distinction explains why, while a modern house can fail in a single day, Amish families thrive comfortably through the dead of winter. There's a lot modern homeowners can learn from the Amish when it comes to surviving extreme cold, especially when the power goes out. The first lesson is, improve insulation wherever possible. Thick curtains over windows, layered quilts on beds, and rugs on floors can make a dramatic difference in keeping heat from escaping. Even simple additions like wool blankets or wall hangings create extra barriers, trapping air and slowing heat loss. Layering clothing inside the house, just like the Amish, adds another personal insulation layer that doesn't rely on electricity. The second takeaway is, add backup heat sources. A wood stove, a small propane heater, or even heat-retaining candles can provide essential warmth during outages. Unlike modern forced air systems, these methods don't fail when the grid goes down. Combine this with thermal mass inside your home, objects that absorb heat during the day and release it slowly at night. Bookshelves, brick walls, or stone countertops all store heat, acting as natural radiators. Third, reduce drafts. Weather stripping around doors and windows, sealing gaps, and using draft stoppers keeps cold air out and warm air in. These small fixes drastically reduce heat loss. Finally, keep an emergency blackout kit ready. Stock extra blankets, warm clothing, non-perishable high-calorie food, and tools for lighting or heating. Preparation doesn't require expensive technology, just planning and understanding how to use your home and resources efficiently. By combining insulation, backup heat, draft reduction, thermal mass, and careful preparation, you can create a home that survives winter even when the power fails, just like the Amish. Modern technology may fail, but these principles never will. As we've seen, surviving brutal winters isn't about having the latest gadgets, fancy insulation, or the most expensive furnace. The Amish demonstrate that knowledge, planning, and smart design can do far more than modern technology alone. Thick, dense walls store heat. Wood stoves radiate warmth long after the fire dies. Natural materials like wool, straw, and quilts trap air and block drafts. Layered clothing and fat-rich diets create internal warmth. Even community systems and shared wisdom multiply survival chances. Every detail of an Amish home and lifestyle is intentionally engineered for resilience. The lesson for us is simple but profound. Resilience doesn't come from dependency on fragile systems. It comes from understanding and working with nature. Modern homes may look impressive on the outside, but in a winter blackout, their design often betrays them. Meanwhile, centuries-old principles perfected by the Amish allow them to stay comfortable and safe without electricity for days or even weeks. So what can you do today? Start with small, practical steps. Improve insulation with curtains, quilts, and rugs. Add a reliable backup heat source. Reduce drafts. Use thermal mass strategically. Prepare an emergency kit stocked with blankets, food, and essentials. Every step brings your home closer to Amish-level winter resilience. If you found this video valuable, make sure to hit the like button. It helps others discover these forgotten survival secrets. Subscribe and turn on notifications to uncover more timeless strategies for self-reliance and preparedness. And most importantly, share in the comments which of these Amish winter secrets will you try first in your home. Remember, survival isn't about gadgets, it's about knowledge, preparation, and systems that work when everything else fails. Learn from the past, adapt it to the present, and you'll never be caught unprepared again.